Morning. It's Freestyle Friday. What's up, Paige? How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. A little crunk this morning. Ready to get the day started. Got a lot to do today. Let's get into it. How's the weather? What the weather look like today?
Give me a second. The weather feels good today. I could tell you that.
I was just about to say that feels wonderful.
So it's 66 with a high of 81. So surely can't complain about the weather. It's gonna be quite the
Please don't complain.
weather. I'm not. Can you hear me that little thing?
Please don't complain about the rain.
Not. Ain't no rain. What you talking about? It's not rain until Wednesday, which that's
see?
a blessing.
That's the thing.
Praise God.
No rain, so no complain.
You right about that.
So, anybody going to the
excited
beach?
about
Anybody going to the beach this weekend? I know you went last weekend, Paige. It was a sandstorm out there, wasn't it?
Well, I actually got a wedding to go to, and it is on the
Yeah.
beach. So, yeah.
Oh,
No, that has always been my dream.
Oh, a beach wedding?
Ever since I was 13.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, it starts at 5 o'clock, and it's going to be wonderful. One of my high school friends is tying the knot.
That's awesome.
Congratulations to them.
all right
Rich
now.
for love.
Most definitely.
Congratulations.
That's great. Look, finding love in 2021, that's like a miracle.
Hey, dang.
Stop that, Paige. Just
It
stop.
is. It's a miracle.
All these people
Why?
out
Because
here.
like people are just so kind of preoccupied with different things, or you know.
Flugazi and the shenanigans. So it is just a miracle.
Just stop it.
I'm just saying that right there is a miracle in itself.
Somebody had that mustard seed.
Exactly. Faith of a mustard seed. And yeah, so kudos to them for making it
Out
work
to
in
the happy
the middle
couple.
of the flugazi. I'm serious. I'm so serious. Y'all have no idea. No idea.
But all
I'm a
good.
clown. Okay. I'm just clowning around, guys.
Yeah, we got special guests today. Hogg Batch is coming through
Yep.
to talk to us about that good old coffee.
I hope they bring in some coffee.
Man, because me and Paige is just in love with that just peachy
Oh, it's so
coffee
delicious.
plus rum.
Yeah, it's so delicious.
Single origin story about the rum barrel aged coffee.
Listen, when I get
roasted
y'all
in
the
small
coffee,
batches.
I'll bring y'all the coffee, but I ain't drinking none, so I don't know what it tastes like.
Well, you should take
But-
a sip.
But I
you
guess,
know, just to try it.
well, that's the thing. I'm not really big on the coffee. I drink tea. I'm a tea guy. You know what I'm saying?
What, cold tea? 'Cause I ain't never seen.
I drink hot tea if
really?
we got it. Yeah. I drink hot tea. You know what I'm saying? When I
You ain't never seen a mug in your hand.
no, that's what you won't see.
Okay.
That's what you won't see.
But
You
what's
don't see me
wrong?
walking around with no mugs, carrying coffee or tea. It's too hot for one. I have to get it in the cups to go.
Gotcha.
But no, I ain't. You see, that's what I'm saying. You want to know what it was anyway. You'll think it's something.
No, just like Wayne said, don't. It's my cup.
It's my cup. You don't need to know
Don't
what's
worry
in
about what's in my cup.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
Hey.
you know,
Okay. Well, yeah, they will be in the building like around 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock hour, we will be with Hogg's Coffee. Hogg's Batch Coffee.
Bring coffee. They can't come on the show.
Y'all hear that? If you're listening,
I'm just saying.
twins.
That's the payment. Coffee. Pay me in coffee.
We start calling you twins
Right.
when you do deliver.
Right.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's
Them
it.
HB twins.
HB twins.
Twins, dang.
Just saying.
No black folks will change some up in a minute.
I'm
You know
telling
how
you.
we do.
I'm telling you.
Y'all know
funny.
how we do. It is always some foolishness. So, it's Freestyle Friday. So this is an interesting story. So let's talking about knowing your worth, right? Taraji P. Henson shared that she only made $40,000 for her role in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Now she won the Oscar. Did she win the Oscar for that? Or she was nominated for the Oscar?
I don't think she did, but yeah, I saw that about just $40K.
Um,
Wow.
She said, she said, me and my team felt like we had finally gotten to this place where I could ask for $500,000. That's all we were asking for. Couldn't get it. In the film, Taraji, alongside Brad Pitt and Kate Blanchett, said she's not sure how much they were paid. However, she's sure they received whatever quote they requested, and rightfully so. I'm not saying they shouldn't have paid Kate and Brad what they deserve. They deserve that. She continued to say that they offered her $100,000 right away, and that she was gutted, and in the end, she got $150,000. However, after the government had to take 50% of her check,
Ooh.
and she had to pay her team 30%. So once Uncle Sam took his 75, said I have 30, that's coming off. That 75, so I made $40,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sad, but yeah.
But she did earn a nomination for Best Supporting Actress in the role. I think it would have been better if she won, but they could have, rigged the system or something.
They give us some money. When you win these awards, you get some money or something?
No, you just can now add that
yeah.
accolade to your name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Another
And
notch on your
then
belt.
now
yeah.
that allows you to demand more money. 'Cause she could say now she can demand more money because she's like, I'm an Oscar nominated.
Right.
She actually has won an Oscar, and she's Oscar nominated.
Yeah. It's almost like with the Grammy nominated, you carry that title
Yes,
forever.
yes. Whether you win or not, Grammy nominated. So yeah.
Okay. $40,000, that would have been hot. You hear me?
Yeah.
Cause I know Brad and Kate, boy, Brad like 20 mil.
You know they got their monies.
$20 million
Hot.
actor. Yeah, 20 mil off rip.
Yeah.
So, Brooklyn Nets guard Kyrie Irving suggests that the NBA changed its current logo to a silhouette of Kobe Bryant.
Oh, he's suggesting that they do that.
Yeah, instead of Jerry West. Jerry West is the logo right now.
Oh, for real? Look, I just thought it was a outline of I didn't know it was an actual person.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that. I didn't
it's,
know that.
it's a silhouette of an actual person.
I never knew that.
Yeah, and it's the silhouette of Jerry West. And they're saying right now that he thinks that it should be changed to the great Kobe Bryant, and I agree. You know what I'm saying? I definitely agree with Kyrie. I think that we times have changed, and we're living in a different era, and I think that with everything that has been going on in the world, I think this change would be good for the NBA.
Right.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
I think it'll be real cool.
It'll be an interesting change
Yeah.
for sure.
'Cause I would love to see what it looks like. Everybody's so used to that logo. It will be a change.
And see, that's the thing. You have people like Mark Cuban that supports the idea of the change.
Okay.
So it's a possibility of something like this really happening. So,
Well, Mark Cuban, he's a pretty progressive owner.
he's very progressive. Very progressive. I seen him on, he was just on a podcast with Earn Your Leisure. And they were talking about investments and different things like that, crypto and Bitcoin and stuff like that. How he invested damn near $1 billion in crypto. Mark Cuban did.
It's coming.
So another thing we should be talking about is how the how the banks are becoming non-void, becoming irrelevant.
Really?
The banks.
The banks. What's happening is in certain parts of the world, like Nigeria, Africa, over Nigeria, um, some other parts over there, the banks are actually shutting down because of crypto. Because so many banks are, so many people are taking their money out of these banks and investing it into crypto. Um, you
heard
know,
about that.
big companies right now are spending billions of dollars in Bitcoin in this crypto market. And what's going to happen is digital money is going to override everything in a minute. You're going to be able to pay for you can pay for anything damn near right now with Bitcoin. So, you know, the ATM machines are going to be replaced with Bitcoin machines in a minute. You know, and these tellers and these banks are definitely going to, I mean, some of these banks are going to be able to have to stay open because it's just a part of the economy. The government, you know, kind of like, you know, has their hand in all of that. So, I mean, but at the end of the day, the banks are the ones investing in the crypto as well, and they see the movement right now, and that's really where everything is going. It's going into the cryptocurrency market, and people need to jump on board right now before it's too late.
Yeah, I don't see how this gonna go because a lot of people are not hip to it yet, and just I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Well, this is what we talk about when we talk about looking at the future. You know, being a visionary, being able to envision what's going to happen, and you know, if you notice, the world has changed, and it's changed with a plague, and with that plague, now you have different ways of living life. Life is altered in so many different ways for so many different people that you have to really think about, you know, do I really want to be out around all these people? Do I really? And that's another thing. A lot of people are just staying at home, ordering online, you know, learning a new trade, learning something that they can do online remotely. Yeah. And you know, that's another reason why that virtual reality is so big right now too, because people are at home, and you know, we're gonna be like in the Matrix in a minute with them virtual reality masks.
We're gonna be like the movie Surrogates.
Yeah.
Oh, I never saw that.
Where you had everybody in the room with them things on.
Yeah.
They plugged up.
Yeah.
And they living in the fantasy. They living in their virtual world.
Yeah.
Oh, they just kind of like laid out.
Yeah, their brain controls like a robot.
Oh.
And so they be like, that looks like them or looks like how they want to look.
Yeah.
Right.
So you living your life, but you really just laying there actually, and it's your mind just
That's
doing
right.
Exactly.
That's right.
So it's crazy. Like when you see what they actually look like versus like
what you with the reality or in their head or whatever they're looking at.
Yeah,
picture
like
that
or
showing.
it could be like a super fat dude, and like you know he's pretending to be a woman because that happened in the movie, I believe.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You actually in this little pod thing, really, but in your mind, you out there living.
Yeah, like they live with people, they sleep with them, they do all of this stuff.
Yeah, but it's a virtual
But it's just
world.
stimulation to your mind.
That's all it is. It's just like it's all imagination. You land there and you everything is your reality in your mind.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. And people are going to go in that direction in a minute. Because it's nothing. It's life is going to become.
I don't think so.
Life is going to become.
People are trying to get
people.
big. People are trying to get back to their lives, like
Right.
you know.
That's crazy, right there.
People ain't gonna be able to do it.
Regardless of what it is, people are definitely trying to get back to their lives, and I think especially as more people get vaccinated or whatever, and then you have what they call herd immunity taking place. Like, yeah.
I don't think it's gonna resort to us being like that.
No.
That's
No.
extreme right there.
No.
Well,
I don't see that.
That's what I'm saying. COVID-19 and everything that's going on is extreme too.
No.
I'm telling you.
Yes, COVID-19 is extreme, but I don't think that we're at that point then.
Of course not. We're not at flying cars yet either, but we know they're gonna come. They coming. It's coming. That's all I'm saying. When I was younger, I used to watch Inspector Gadget. Mm-hmm. Now, Inspector Gadget had a character on there called Money Penny, Inspector Gadget's little niece. If anybody remember Inspector Gadget, how did they communicate?
With the little watch.
I didn't like that show.
You didn't like Inspector Gadget?
But how did they compete? I mean,
I don't
how
know.
did they
Do they
communicate?
watch?
Yeah,
That's
they
right.
walking through the
That's
watch.
right. That's right. That's right. And how do we talk right now? What do we have right now that we can use and talk with?
I'll watch
We
it.
can talk through our watch, just like what you call it.
That's
we can talk
right.
Through our TV
That's right. We can talk
and
through
all
our
that
watch and
stuff
everything
all
else
that.
right now.
Yes.
So if that's the case, look what happened. It was showing you in a cartoon what was going to actually happen in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For real.
Okay.
Yeah. So with that, y'all, we're gonna take a little break because our guests have arrived, and we will be right back at 8:30.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.
Project Titan. Prepare album sequence to connect your mind, body, and soul. Chills and thrills. Head nodders. It's your time to shine. And now, get ready to embark on a very blue voyage.
I've been relaxing. Just landed my dream job.
You mean you've sort of been on a break?
Yes.
The best money we've ever had. With a different kind of money comes a different kind of card. Crypto.com Visa Card, powered by crypto. Reserve your...
Listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.
We are back.
Yeah, we got our special guest in the building this morning of Hogg and Batch Coffee.
Yes, so we have owners David and Dwayne Hogg. Y'all know we've talked a lot about Hogg Batch because it's Jundra's and I favorite coffee that we drink every morning.
That's right.
Y'all, they didn't bring us no coffee, y'all. I don't know how I feel about it. I just can't make it through the rest of the interview. I just don't know how I feel. No, I'm just kidding. But welcome. You all have an amazing product. So just kind of tell us about yourselves. Tell us where you're from, how you got started, and why coffee.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, so this is David. So we've been in the Florida area for about 15 years now, originally from Connecticut. And coffee kind of came into my life, I want to say about 5-6 years ago. Got bit by the coffee bug, got into what we call third wave coffee and specialty coffee as a consumer. And then I started was intrigued about how coffee is developed, and I started playing around with coffee roasting at home, similar to the way they do in Ethiopia, on top of the stove in a cast iron pan. And so that's where I really started roasting, and was just amazed that I could create this thing from something raw. And so that kind of took me down this road of getting scientific and trying to experiment with coffee and bring something new that would be different than what was out there. And then fast forward, that's where we are.
Awesome. So were y'all the kids whose grandparents let you drink coffee at like 5?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. Because you know how that is.
No, actually, like I said, and I might be off on the years, but it was really in like working in corporate America, got caught up in the system. You drink coffee to kind of, distract your day a little bit and take a break and get a little pick me up, but it's usually not the best quality coffee. And so then we moved into like the good stuff.
So how did you all come up or even discover the idea of barrel-aged coffee? Because, like, I was, like, sitting and we were trying to figure it out. We're like, is the alcohol in the coffee? Like, I was like, well, I don't see the alcohol content on here. So,
Before we get into that, Paige, I just want to know how did brothers decide that they want to say, you know what, let's start a coffee company, right?
That's how, that's where my question was leading.
Oh. Well, let's get that in.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of relate a little bit. So,
yeah.
He actually stumbled upon some barrel-aged coffee out of state and brought it back here. But prior to that, we were already kind of, going the experimental route with the roast, trying a couple of things, I think mostly around like infusions and stuff like that. But when we tasted some out of state that actually had a little bit of resemblance to the flavor of the spirit in the barrel, that's when we were like, well, we want to start experimenting with this. So, and we wanted to do, the whole time we were roasting and getting into this, we wanted to do something different, something unique to kind of disrupt. So we did, we got good at the single origin roast and the typical coffee roast and things like that, but we wanted to see how can we get natural flavors involved. So that's kind of like how we stumbled upon that. And then once we started, we started aging our own barrels and aging the beans, and we were getting this kind of producing this natural flavor, which doesn't contain coffee. It is non-alcoholic because it's 0 to trace amounts. So,
right.
Because we're doing everything prior to the roast. But that's kind of what led us down that journey. And then we said, let's keep it unique. It's, you know, it's the road less often traveled. Let's be different. Yeah. And that's kind of what sparked that whole business plan to go that way, like to stay in that lane of unique experimental coffee. So.
Yeah, and then I would just add, like, we've been working in marketing, a lot of creative and digital marketing, but we're creatives at the core. And so there's a creative element to what we're doing with coffee that I think is, that's why it's important for us to be experimental with coffee and, to do this thing that's, very variable and innovative, because that just taps into the creative, inside of us. And then we're, entrepreneurial minded from the jump, like, always wanted to own our own business and, be owned and operated. And so this sort of just came together out of those two things. And this was an opportunity. And then as we got into it, we kind of realized too, there was something bigger here. There's not a lot of representation of, Black people in coffee. We consume coffee, but the spaces where, coffee is sort of elevating, there's not as many of us in those spaces.
I might ask, what did you guys think it was going to be too difficult to get into the space, being that it's such a saturated space, or did you guys feel confident that you guys would be successful with your brand?
I think it was definitely the first. We definitely because there's so many coffee shops, so many coffee types, right. So many roasters. We thought, like, with all the brand saturation, it was going to be tough to kind of break into just coffee. Mm-hmm. That's why even with the unique model, we had some doubts. I think it was really our first market that we went to with little to no expectation of really doing that well there. Right. And it was a pretty big market, and we almost sold out. And so I think between bringing a diverse, look and feel to the game, right. as well as having a diverse product, really caught people's attention. So we were like, okay, maybe there is a lane we can carve here. We know it's going to be an uphill road, but we definitely have something that sticks out. So
yes, I've noticed there's been a lot of Black liquor makers lately. Been coming out with a lot of different liquors and vodkas and cognacs and different things. Have you guys decided or thought about partnering with other Black liquor companies to maybe add to your brand or to your coffee, or to not add to it but to partner with, as far as the taste goes? Definitely,
yeah. And I mean, from the jump, we were trying to partner with distilleries directly and create a special relationship where we were working with their product, and there was like a crossover with the product we produced out of it, and they could benefit too and build our brands together. But right. in this last year, we kind of stumbled across a couple of Black-owned distilleries, and with all the promotion of Black businesses, we started to kind of get that idea in our head that you just mentioned, like we need to reach out to some Black-owned, like, wineries, right. Distilleries, yeah. and makers that we can share in this growth with. So we're spending our money and putting our money into the same community. And then, there's just a story there, because that's a similar space to coffee, right. where, we consume it, but we're not represented as much in that space. So, right. yeah, that's a big part of our 21 plan, is to really, we're actually talking with some people now to try to do that, make that happen.
That's awesome.
How long is your the coffee aged for? How long does it take to do a batch?
So, to do it takes a lot longer than I'm about to say, because there's all the sourcing and sampling of coffee and pairing and figuring that out. But the actual aging is usually around 4 weeks to 6 weeks. But what we do is we have a process where we age the raw coffee in the fresh dump barrels, and depending on the freshness of the barrel, the spirit, permeation, we'll sample it every couple of weeks and kind of see if we've gotten the right amount of aroma and flavor in the beans to say this is finished. So that varies, and we rotate the barrel on a regular basis. So we're getting the beans around and trying to, have that process happen consistently and, more rapid. But it's definitely an aging process versus like something that we can do really quick, which we like. We like that about it.
So, have you all decided, thought about adding any other items to your list of products that you're offering? Like I know Tonio was like, I don't drink coffee. What about tea? So like, are you looking into adding any other options?
Yeah, we are. We actually we're working on doing some barrel aged tea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
which
unique.
is So we actually talked about that like early last year, and then we kind of got with everything that was happening in the world, we got a little distracted.
Right.
But yeah, we definitely want to expand, and that's why the idea of Hogg Batch is supposed to be this, our last name is Hogg. Batch means like a small sort of, hand touched kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so it's just, we want to have this creative process where we're constantly releasing, these, very unique and, special products. So tea is something we're looking into. We worked on a decaf because we got a lot of requests for decaf coffee, but we're also thinking outside of the consumption space too. Like, we do our own shirts and, apparel. So we're looking at expanding that. And, I don't know if you have other things you want to add to that, Dwight.
Yeah, the shirts are nice.
Yeah, mostly it's also like some custom merch stuff we want to do, but we have a couple of other lanes that we've dabbled in that might fall under because we've been in like the kind of design and fashion world for a little bit, and we've even had small businesses that way as well. So yeah, it's a lot of innovative things. It's trying to stay focused and not get too scattered with them all.
Right, doing a little bit of things well is the key, right? So like just as someone who's tried the Just Peachy and I think it's the blueberry tequila, I think it is. What made you decide to infuse fruit in coffee? Like the idea never came to mind.
So actually those flavors that you get from the Just Peachy rum and then the muddled blueberry tequila are coming naturally from the bean. Okay. And then it's pairing with the spirit and the barrel and everything. So we're not adding anything else to that. We have experimented with other things and stuff. So we'll have stuff coming out where we'll infuse it with we try to keep, it's all natural. So we're trying to keep it in line with everything else. But we have, because we want to always keep pushing outside the box, we are doing that. And that's just been an idea of testing and learning how long and, what that process looks like, the absorption process and everything. So, but yeah, those are natural.
Well, it's very delicious. Very, very delicious. So what would you say to other entrepreneurs who are looking to get into a space that's saturated? What kind of advice would you give them?
I would just say, and I kind of posted something the other day about it via our account because I was feeling some kind of way. But, recognizing as a minority all my life and with everything else going on, that there's just going to be some people who just have to knock on the door and others who have to build a brand new entrance to walk through. So I feel like, you got to be fearless and you got to be willing to fail fast and fail hard so that you can celebrate the successes, celebrate those failures that turn into success. So you just, don't go into it because, a lot of markets are saturated like that. But also know that no idea is original. I mean, we kind of told you how we stumbled on this and we're trying to build upon it. I listen to a lot of people that say, imitate and then innovate. So, I think that's key, too. Don't feel like just because it's saturated, you can't take it and do something, build
different,
something upon it.
Yeah, it's no different than Urban Drinkery.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She started her wine, business, and she's doing pretty well. So, it's definitely the mindset, more than anything. Believing in yourself, the passion that you guys have for making coffee, going to the extremes and putting all the work in, is definitely not easy for people to understand. You know, the journeys that we take as entrepreneurs, especially the ones that are less traveled, like you said. So let me ask you guys. You know, I'm your neighbor. A lot of people don't really get to see, you know, the equipment that you guys have to make these great coffees.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, we you know, the way we wanted to set up our space, because we've been like my brother always tells me, we're focused on the production aspect. So we do the process soup to nuts and try to bring as much of it in house as possible. Is to kind of expose that production environment. So a 1 kilogram sample roaster that we use to, you know, sample new coffees before we decide we want to purchase them in bulk, and to also roast out and test out different profiles and sample our aged coffee. Then we've got a larger 10K roaster that we use for our production batches, and those are right at the front. And then, you know, in that space, we've kind of added some other equipments like a filling machine. Obviously, we've got the typical coffee equipment, you know, for brewing and tasting and grinding. But we've also got some a setup for rolling our barrels. So we get the big, you know, 53-gallon barrels, and we fill those up, and then we've got to rotate them. So we've got like a little rotation platform to kind of rotate the barrels.
Yeah, and then we keep some brewing equipment on hand, because a big thing for us is focusing on, and it was prior to COVID, focusing on a lot of like homebrew influence and education. So like we want to test the coffee the way people are going to drink it.
Right.
Because we're not just about having it in the shop. Like, we're selling coffee for you to enjoy just as well at home. So we keep a lot of that on hand. And we're always testing our coffee different ways, and we provide that information online as well. What's our favorite ways to drink it. So, but yeah, it's definitely, we try to create like what we like to call like a roaster's museum a little bit. So like we have the big windows, and you know, the idea when we first got it was to have it where like you can always look in, and you know, and you can even come in sometimes and just see the process, see what's going on. And we're still kind of working towards that. We've had some moments where that's happened, but because of COVID and everything, we've kept it a little guarded.
Oh my gosh, I had a great question, and then I got thrown off. Will you all eventually open like a cafe or anything like that, or will you continue the model that you have?
So yeah, we this year we're expecting to open up sort of like a part-time cafe and have limited hours, and the reason why we want to do that, we didn't originally, you know, and I think we said this in a couple of interviews early, like don't have the plans on owning a coffee shop, because we don't want to fit into the model of a coffee shop.
Right.
So, you know, we're still trying to figure out how we want to differentiate what we offer and make the experience a little bit more intimate and unique. But a key in doing that is we want to showcase our product. We get a lot of questions from people that want to, you know, want to buy it somewhere where it's already brewed and tasted, and, you know, can I get a cup on a regular basis? And we also feel like there's like, because our product's so different, there's this need to be able to buy it the same outside of home, the same way you buy other coffee. So we kind of want to test that idea out in our own way, in our own space.
Now, do you all do like markets and trade shows where you kind of like have your coffee set up for people to taste or anything like that?
Yeah, prior to last year when we acquired our spot, we spent like a good year, at least a good year, if not a year and a half. That's all we were doing is markets all over Tampa Bay area. And that was great, because that was how we were doing our like focus groups. Every market we went to, we had our samples, and we were educating people and telling people about the process, getting feedback directly. So yeah, and we miss it, because it's a great way to get that feedback and kind of get it out there as well. It was great for brand awareness. But when COVID hit, we slowed down last year, and then now we're kind of focused on other lanes. So.
All right.
That's great to know.
What's up?
And then I had another great question. I don't know what is wrong with me.
You ain't got that coffee in front of you this morning. That's
That's
what it is. You ain't got that coffee in front of you this morning.
The coffee is my superpower.
That coffee is what's up, man. Y'all got some great coffee, man. Out here, man.
It is very
Thank you.
delicious.
But I did try it. I did have some.
Yeah.
And it's a very unique taste from regular coffee. I'm gonna just tell you that. And being that I was locked up a lot of times, it's probably the best coffee I done had. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I done tried some coffees in my day, and it's probably why I don't drink it today.
Probably.
Because I had drank it so much when I was there. So
I can also say, like, I've tried coffees all over the world, and you
That's
guys have some of the best. Like, the first sip, I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm so used to drinking coffee.
She was tripping.
I really was. I literally took one sip, and I was like, I need my own. But it's so flavorful. I don't like when I get coffee and it's so strong that you can't really enjoy the flavor of the coffee. Or it tastes like mud water, or it's bitter. And so you guys' coffee, I mean, like, you can just, like, really taste the flavor. I've only tasted 2, but the 2 I've had, exactly what the flavor says, that's what the coffee tastes like. Good. And how oftentimes do you drink coffee and it says one thing, and you're like, well, is this really French vanilla? Because it doesn't taste like that, But I could taste the exact flavor. So that was, I mean, it's so delicious. And I think everyone should try it. Even if you're not a coffee drinker, just try it. I actually tried some yesterday, cold. I did like a cold
brew, yeah.
Well, not really cold brew, but I just added ice to it. But it was really good. It was really, really good. So do you all think that you will kind of move into that space and start offering like cold brews, or do you plan
They do.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. They offer cold and hot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
when
cool.
we do our occasional pop-ups, and then definitely once we get into some limited type of hours, that's one of the things that will show up on the menu, even if it's on a rotational basis.
Yeah.
And we currently are partnering with someone in the same Grand Central area. A new boutique bar place has one of our bourbon filthy cherries on cold brew, so we supply them with that as well.
Okay.
Bourbon filthy cherry.
Yeah.
Oh man. See, y'all the names make me want to try it.
That's what's up.
So
You know
this
what
is
I'm
the
saying?
thing.
Just the names.
So I see y'all have like a Jamaican Me Crazy, and there's some others. Will those flavors come back?
That's a great question.
Because I mean, I'm just looking at the past flavors. I'm like, okay, but I want to try those too.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. We were keeping those on there so people could see that we could understand our model.
Yeah.
That we constantly like change it up on
creating.
them. But yeah,
Constantly
we get a
creating.
lot of like, when is this particular thing? So we intentionally won't repeat things.
So it's like collections.
So that means you just have to take all my money in one fell swoop. Basically,
So
you're just
you
trying to get all the people's money. Is what you're saying. Okay.
No, what we're trying to do is we want to get, because I mean, like, it's a little bit of like the way my mind works. Every day I got coffee all over my house, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
And every day I wake up, it's like the way you might get dressed to pick out your outfit. I'm picking out what I want to drink that day. And and like one of you guys asked earlier about the saturation in the market. We know a lot of people, we deal with adults, so a lot of them already have coffee they like, or they might have found their favorite coffee. And so we feel like we can fit in with other coffee because we're offering this collector's model where you're going to get something different on a regular basis that you can disrupt your normal routine. Right. So like you might drink your one coffee, regularly, and then we come out with a flavor and you're like, okay, I got to try that. This new flavor, and then it's gone, and then you got, so, and that keeps it exciting on both ends. We hope it keeps it exciting for consumption, and then it keeps it exciting for us because we're not just doing the same thing, rinse and repeat.
So it's like a caviar almost.
Yeah.
Do y'all have like a subscription? Do y'all have like a subscription box or subscription club?
Yeah, we do.
You do? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we have a Disrupt Coffee Club, and we offer 2 types. One where each month you get some favorite selection of ours, and then the other one, because we had originally started out on a whiskey and bourbon themed journey, and so a lot of people like that, so we created a lane just for them.
Okay.
Where they always get whiskey bourbon, but it's always different coffee each month, and we try to get all our new releases out to subscribers first. So.
Okay. That's awesome. Because as you were talking, I'm like, do they have this? Because that's a great idea. Because when you're talking about something that's proprietary, I think it's beneficial for people to subscribe. Because how sad will it be to miss out on the new flavor?
Yeah. That's the goal. That happened a couple of times.
Yeah.
People were sad, and you know, it's a little bit of it is supply and demand. We do it like, you know, sneaker drops, things like that.
Yeah,
That's what we love. So we're trying to stay in that lane. But yeah, we want to make sure people know it's limited so they can get it.
So is there a particular time of the month where you all switch out a new flavor? Like for now, you have the just peachy and the muddled blueberry. How much time do people have to get that before the new flavor comes out? Because I think I need to order a couple of more.
Right. Yeah. You know? No, we it's and so it's the cadence is different depending on the flavor and how much how much demand we get for it. So it's until the barrel's gone. Okay. And so but pretty much monthly we release something new. It might overlap for a little while, but so like up next we've got our bourbon coming up in March. So, and we've been getting questions since we had our last bourbon about when you bringing bourbon back, but it won't be the same bourbon. It'll be something different, but we got a bourbon coming up. And then in the future, in the next month or two, we have a Chardonnay barrel aged coffee coming up.
Moscato coming too.
Really?
We did do a coffee, and Moscato.
Get out of here.
Yeah. We did it for, specifically for, I think for a little event like the Coffee in Common with the Deltas, for a little exclusive. Wow. But yeah, we definitely will be bringing those kind. We did a coffee and rosé like a year or so ago for around Mother's Day.
Okay.
So we will constantly bring new flavors, barrel aged. Some will be infused, and then other things as we learn natural ways to kind of enhance the coffee without destroying what you're getting, like that peach and. If you get cocoa and all the natural things you get from coffee, we want to make sure you get that and something else.
Okay.
Do you all ever think, and I feel horrible for asking this question, but I'm just going to ask because everyone isn't like a coffee connoisseur, I guess you would say. Do you all ever intend to venture into like the K-Cup world? Where, people are kind of like on the go. They don't want to grind their coffee. Like I have the little insert, so it doesn't matter. I can add whatever. But like, maybe I'm going out of town or something.
You want to bring someone to or at the office. Yeah. Some people are stuck in the office. But we looked at it.
Keurig cups.
We looked at it a year or so ago and because we were like, we need to, I think first the purist in me was like, no, but
I know, right? That's why I said I feel like I'm gonna get shot for asking this question.
But I have to remember my journey. I think K-Cups it's a while ago was the first thing that got me into coffee. It was like putting the K-Cups in the machine at the office. So we want to introduce, and it's like a funnel. Like we got to meet people where they are.
Yeah.
Right.
And
yeah.
so and
that was a recently learned thing. We were avoiding it for the simple fact that we're creating this premium coffee. Once you K-Cup it, you're grinding it. It's ground. It's releasing the flavors. It's sitting around.
Right.
But to his point, we had some conversations with some other Black people in the coffee community, and they were having the same revelation. Like, look, we want to make sure we meet people where they are.
Where they are. Yeah.
Yeah. So we definitely want to do that.
And there's this element, and the reason why we kind of looked in it too was like at the same time, there's not this distinct product is not in the K-Cup world.
Oh no, not
so
at
that
all.
also, that's a good opportunity. Right. Like it won't just be like another K-Cup. Like this might be a move.
And they also have those specialty K-Cups, so it's not like the plastic ones. They have the ones that are kind of like the fair trade. That one may maintain the flavor better than just the little plastic one. Yeah. To me, when I get those ones, I feel fancy. I'm like, oh, this is so fancy. It's like a little bougie K-Cup. So, but I think that would really be great for you guys because like that was my lifesaver. And when I was working in corporate, just being able to just go get that 2 p.m. cup of coffee to help me through the rest of the day. So, and you know, like that was one of the things that my job offered for free, and they would buy them in these huge batches. Yeah. So we could just, you know, always have access. And like for me, I plan to get the, you know, the double coffee thing, so I can actually like, you know, just brew a pot.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like as my space grows, you know, the pot is just not going to work.
Right. And then people can make it fresh to order.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Yeah. So, but I definitely want to order more coffee from you all, so I can have it in my spot, because I just think it's so delicious. Like, and I'm not overreacting. Like, I'm one of those people that has been drinking coffee since I was 4 years old. It probably was like more milk than coffee, but I would sit down with my grandparents and drink my coffee. And, you know, when you're in the corporate world, that's your lifesaver. And so even being here in the morning, it's like, you know, until we got you guys' coffee, it was kind of hit or miss. I could come in here, coffee might be made, it might not be made. But since we started drinking y'all's coffee, every morning I come in, I'm like, oh, all right, coffee, ready to go, because it's just that good. So, so what's the best way for people to contact you, follow you, and order your coffee?
I say right now, the best ways to follow us is online. If you go to hoggbash.com, that's where we're doing most of our sales until we do open some type of limited hours, so you can order online. We are offering local pickup. We have some limited local pickup options that we started, I want to say this year, or maybe towards the end of last year, just to help out people that are local, not to have to pay shipping and everything. But online as well, you can sign up to follow like our email list, and we'll send you, we won't spam you, but we'll send you updates and stuff when we do drop new coffee. And then also on social media, of course, Instagram, Facebook are great channels where we promote a lot of stuff. And we got a dope little Black History collection dropping next month. So yeah, definitely check that out. We're just trying to, you know, keep it going, because Black History Month is American history, which is all year. So
absolutely,
we wanted to wait. We was going to do it this month, and then we got the idea to just like, nah, let's start next month.
Exactly.
Right.
I like that. Well, I would be remiss if I didn't invite you guys. So I host an Afro Market Exchange every month. So we have our big market coming up on Sunday, February 28th. So you guys are more than welcome to stop through. And we would love to have you as a vendor one of these months, because people always come asking for coffee, and we're like, oh, nah, we don't have coffee today. But it's we have this month over 50 vendors, so it's kind of crazy. It's going to be a crazy packed event. It's mostly outside, it's indoor and outside, but we have quite a few vendors outside, you know, under tents and things like that. But it's going to be a great opportunity to just come and network and, you know, like, just check it out.
Yeah, most definitely.
So we give you guys the address, man, so you guys can just come out there and just check it out for the first time. And if you guys want to come back out there and be a vendor, you could. But come out this Sunday. It's from 2 to 6 p.m.
Yes, it is. It's 11141 U.S. Highway 19.
I see you.
North. Yeah.
I see you.
And maybe a flyer. Yeah. But it's always a great opportunity. It's our 1 year anniversary, so it's just a great celebration. So, yeah.
But man, we want to thank you guys for coming through today, man. We know you're busy and you guys got a lot going on, and
thank you.
You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you guys. And you know, the coffee is great. The ladies love it. And when you get the ladies, hey, drinking the coffee.
That's the market.
That's the market right there, man. Y'all know what y'all was doing.
Yeah.
Y'all knew what y'all was doing. But thank y'all for coming through today, man. It was a great show with you guys. Definitely got to have you guys back when when you guys do some more things out there.
Yeah, most
and, you know, if you guys want to advertise with us, you can look into that. But thank you guys for coming through.
Yeah,
appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Next time.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got MC Shan and Molly Mall in the house tonight. They just came from off tour, and they want to tell you a little story about where they come from.
You love to hear the story again and again of how it all got started way back when. The monument is right in your face. Sit and listen for a while to the name of the place. The break, 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 the break. Hip hop was set out in the dark. They used to do it out in the park. Every place that said his name, it rang an alarm. Otherwise known as me, T-Tom. Hip hop was set out in the dark. They used to do it out in the park. Every place that said his name, it rang an alarm. Otherwise known as me, T-Tom. A brother who's known for his rap, Jabby Jap. Larry Ladd, third least not last. A cool brother by the name of Gas. Face brothers made you get loose. They was down with the brother called Cousin Bruce. They used to jam in the center. You had to pay so you could enter. Go to the door, get frisked, just in order to get in. And if you wasn't from this town, then you couldn't fight and win. But every time they had a jam, they couldn't get no peace. So that's why the jams out there in the parks they had to seize, cause you was in the break, the break, the break, the break, the break, the break, the break. Why don't you wise up, show all the people in the place that you are bright? Make this here one jam that you do not start no fight. Cause that is one thing that we all must see done. If you start some shit, your ass had better run, cause you're in the break, 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 the break.
Yo, what's up, Scotland Rock?
Yo, man, we chillin' this funky fresh jam. About us with a boogie down production crew. And do this insane.
you.